A man stands beside a CAT 320 excavator on a job site in the early morning. The machine is his. He signed for it. He has the title in a folder at home. He pulls out his phone, opens the CAT app, and taps the icon for that machine. He wants one thing. He wants to see the hours, the fuel level, and where the machine was last night. The screen does not give it to him. The data is there. The hardware on the cab is recording it right now. But the app shows him a message that the unit needs an active subscription. He owns the iron. He does not own the access. That is the trap, and Caterpillar built it on purpose. Look at the back of that cab, and you will see a small antenna. That is Product Link. It is the hardware bolted into new CAT machines at the factory. On the 320, it comes built in. Product Link records the asset location, the hours, the fuel burn, the idle time, and the fault events. And it transmits all of that to a Caterpillar platform called Vision Link. The owner paid for that hardware when he bought the machine. It is his metal, his sensor, his data being generated by his diesel, and the moment the subscription lapses, that data goes dark to him while it keeps flowing to Peoria. This is the part operators feel in their gut. The machine is a closed loop. It watches itself, it reports on itself, and the company decides whether the owner gets to look. You bought a 40-ton excavator, and Caterpillar handed you a paywall for its own pulse. Here is how the gate actually works, with no rumor in it. Vision Link is sold in subscription tiers. The base tier is called Connect, and it gives you core telematics on your CAT assets. Above that sits Connect Pro, which adds more monitoring data and reaches across other brands, too. Above that is Performance, which adds more comprehensive data and reports more often. At the top is Performance Pro, the full analytics package with payload, load counts, cycles, and productivity numbers. 4 tiers, 4 price points, 1 machine you already own, and the price is not even fixed. Caterpillar does not publish a flat number on the website. The cost runs between $0 and $20 a month for each connected machine, and the dealer sets the figure. Read that again. The dealer decides what your own machine's data costs you every month. 2 contractors on the same model can pay 2 different numbers for the exact same readout, because the price is whatever the local dealer types into the contract. The 0 in that range is the catch that makes operators angriest once they understand it. 0 gets you a level called CAT Daily. CAT Daily reports once a day, right before midnight in the machine's local time. That is the freemium floor. You want your data faster than once a day, you pay. Higher subscriptions refresh more often, and that is Caterpillar's own description of how it works. So the free tier is not generosity, it is a sample. The machine can report every 10 minutes. It will report once a day until you start paying. If you want to watch Caterpillar keep losing ground, subscribe to QuickSoup. If you are watching on your TV, find QuickSoup and hit subscribe there. Now walk it back to the man with the phone. He opens the CAT app again. The CAT app is free to download on any phone, and Caterpillar is happy to tell you that. But read the fine print on what it actually shows. The app shows location, hours, critical faults, and fuel level on units subscribed to CAT Daily or Vision Link. On units subscribed, 3 words doing an enormous amount of work. The app is free. The data is not. The owner is looking at a beautiful interface, built to display numbers he is not allowed to see unless the meter is running. Picture the practical version of this. It is a Saturday. A foreman wants to know if the 320 has enough fuel to start Monday without sending a truck out. He opens the app. Subscription inactive. He cannot see the fuel level on a machine he owns, parked on a site he controls. Burning diesel he paid for. He drives 40 minutes to look at a gauge in persons. The machine knew the answer. The company decided he had not paid to hear it. This is not an accident of software design. This is the strategy, written down in Caterpillar's own targets. The company has told investors it wants $28 billion in services revenue by 2020. Services revenue was $14 billion back in 2016. It hit $24 billion in 2024. The whole point of services is that it is recurring. It does not depend on selling a new machine. It depends on the machines already in the field paying every month, forever. The connected excavator is not a tool the company sold you. It is a customer it acquired, and they will tell you the connection helps you. Caterpillar's own number is that customers using its digital tools spend up to 33% more on aftermarket services. The company says that like it is a benefit. Read it the other way. The connected customer is the one who spends more. The data does not just inform the owner. It steers him back to the dealer counter. Every fault code is a prompt. Every alert is a sales lead. The machine is whispering to Caterpillar about you all day long. The scale of it is the part that should stop you cold. Caterpillar runs a cloud platform called Helios, spelled Helios. Helios connects more than 1.5 million machines and engines around the world, and not just Cat machines. Other brands too, 1.5 million assets reporting home. That is not a fleet tool. That is the largest private surveillance network on heavy iron that has ever existed, and the owners are the ones funding it with their monthly fees. Quick break before we get into what happened next. If you have been on this channel for a while, watching how Cat lost segment after segment, there is a way to make sure you do not miss what is coming. Join the operator tier for $4.99 a month. You get badges that mark you as a working professional in the comments section, custom emoji to call out the corporate decisions that killed Cat, and you get every video 24 hours before the rest of the internet. To join, open your phone and search Quisoup membership, or go to the channel page and tap join. Join the operators and engineers who are paying attention. Now back to it. Here is the moment the whole thing turns from annoying to insulting. To understand it, you have to look at how Caterpillar talks about ownership when the lawyers are in the room. In the fight over the right to repair, Caterpillar, John Deere, and Case have all leaned on the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, the federal law that protects software. Their argument is that the software inside the machine is theirs, and the law lets them lock it down. The reported version of Caterpillar's position is blunt. The company believes it still owns the excavator, and that the contractor has simply been given permission to use it for a period of time. Sit with that. You wired the dealer the money. You hold the title, and the manufacturer's legal stance is that you are essentially renting. The deed says owner. The software says tenant. The subscription is just the rent made visible. You pay once for the machine, and then you pay again every month to keep the lights on inside it. This is the trap fully sprung. The peak of it is simple to say and hard to swallow. Caterpillar sold you a machine, kept the keys to its data, and then offered to rent those keys back to you in 4 tiers at a price your dealer picks. The machine is yours on paper and theirs in practice. You own the steel and they own the signal, and the signal is where the money is. Operators are not stupid about this. They have watched the same trick spread everywhere. Automakers tried charging a monthly fee for heated seats already installed in the car. Tractor makers locked farmers out of their own equipment until a dealer typed in a code. The construction yard is just the next room in the same house, and the people who run this gear, the 55 and 60-year-old operators, who can tell a worn final drive by sound, they see exactly what is happening. They bought machines for 30 years on the principle that what you buy, you own. Now the principle has an asterisk, and the asterisk says, check your subscription status. The defenders of all this have a line ready. They will say that data tools save you money, that they catch failures early, that uptime is worth the fee, and sometimes that is true. A fault alert can save a hydraulic pump. But notice what is never offered. Nobody offers to sell you the machine and the data outright, once, with no recurring bill. The option that respects ownership does not exist on the menu. The only options are tiers. The only direction is monthly. That tells you the fee was never really about your uptime. It was about Caterpillar's recurring revenue, and the field is not without leverage. Look at what Caterpillar spent to keep it this way. In the legislative fights over the right to repair, the manufacturers outspent the farmers and operators 28-1. The opponents poured more than $2.6 million into 3 states alone. The people asking to fix and access their own equipment scraped together about $93,000. When a company spends like that to keep a door locked, you can be sure there is something valuable on the other side of it. There is. It is your machine's data and the monthly bill attached to it. Here is the question for you, and I want a real answer in the comments. If you bought a Cat 320 tomorrow, paid in full, title in hand, would you pay a monthly subscription just to see its own hours and fuel level on your own phone? Or is data on a machine you own something Caterpillar has no right to charge you for twice? Tell me in the comments. The way out is the same way operators always answer a company that overreaches. They remember at the dealer counter. The next time the lease is up, the next time a fleet manager prices a new line, the subscription column goes on the spreadsheet next to the purchase price. Liebherr and Volvo are right there. Used iron with no telematics handshake is right there. The leverage was never in a courtroom. It was always in the next purchase order. A machine that reports on its owner and charges him for the privilege is a machine with a quiet cost the brochure never listed, and operators are starting to list it themselves. One more thing before you go. If you really want to be part of the inner circle on this channel, join the site Foreman for $9.99 a month. You get a public shout-out in upcoming videos. Your name, your operation, your story, validated in front of the entire Quisoup audience. Plus everything from the operator tier. To join, open your phone and search Quisoup membership, or go to the channel page and tap join. And remember, every operator who switched to Liebherr or Volvo a decade ago saw this coming long before the boardroom in Irving, Texas admitted it. See you in the next one.